had their files stolen a year ago almost, before they informed us.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice? Caller, good morning. Hello there.
Hey.
Good morning.
Does it make sense to form a trust to protect your estate from long-term care?
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
We're talking about the estate, yeah.
We got a note here I'm trying to read. I'm sorry. Yes, it depends. There's long-term care insurance, which I believe is relatively reasonable. I'm too old now to get it because it's not reasonable anymore, but it's relatively reasonable for those who have the wherewithal to purchase it when they're younger. Unfortunately, most of the people that, when the rates are cheaper, can't really afford it because they've got mortgages, they've got college, they've got car payments, they've got other bills, and paying a lot of money for long-term care insurance is difficult to do. But if you want to establish a trust, if you've got the wherewithal to do that, you can certainly do that. But then again, keep in mind that you also want to provide for yourself while you don't need long-term care. And if you have to decide what's most important, long-term care is very important, but there are other agencies available to help you, like Medicaid, when you need long-term care as opposed to while you're in your earning prime. So just kind of be careful about that. Now, don't sell yourself short during lifetime to provide for yourself when you're near the end of your life.
Okay, there you go, caller. That'll help?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I got some gifts for you. Send in your card, your self-addressed envelope. I had another question just come in. It says, well, what does a child do if his or her parent gets a credit card for him before he was old enough to get one? Now what do you do?
You know, that's unfortunate, and that happens.
Yeah.
There was a case that we had in the DA's office when I was there where the credit cards were for children that were not just underage, they were preteen. They're not legally able to do that. A child 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old is not legally capable in any state of which I'm aware to enter into a contract, which is really what a credit card is. You agree to pay X number of dollars through the credit card agency.
And to bend over once in a
while.
That's
right. Yeah, that's right. Once in a while.
God help you.
Yeah, I know.
God help you.
But in any event, that could lead the parent to a charge of fraud, particularly if the fraud is perpetrated by the parent by using that card. And where it happened most often is parent has utilized all available credit in his or her credit cards. They're maxed to the limit and now have no further ability, and credits tighten quite a bit, by the way, have no further ability to gain other credit cards in their name. Now, you're not, as a child, 8, 9, 10 years old, on your first credit card going to have the ability, because they're going to have to put down and lie that you're 18 or 19 or 20 or 21. There's not going to be a lot of credit available. There's no credit card company, or at least no reputable credit card company, that is going to give you $100,000 credit to a person that's never had a credit card before, has no credit history in the sense they haven't bought any cars in their name, haven't purchased any houses, haven't had any other contracts, so they're not going to get a lot. But over a period of 2 or 3 years, and I know that sounds like a long time. Wait till you get older. It happens, I mean, they really...
Too fast.
Way too fast. But over 2 or 3 years, you can build a great deal of credit, particularly with a small credit card. You charge 1 month a dinner at a restaurant for $50, and you pay it right away. Then you charge a dinner at 2 restaurants the next month for $100, and you pay it right away. Then you buy an item that's a little more expensive. Then you go to Home Depot and buy something else. Then you buy a washer and a dryer, and you pay them off. As your credit score increases, your credit limit usually goes with it, to a point now where you might have $20,000, $25,000 worth of credit from the scam artist who put it in the child's name in the first place, and then all of a sudden the $25,000 debt is incurred and there's no payment. That is fraud, it's prosecutable, and somebody can go to prison for doing that. I'm not suggesting that every parent that's ever done that to a child is doing it with some type of nefarious motive. However, that happens frequently. If a parent is doing it, by the way, it's illegal to do it no matter what, falsifying a document to get that credit. But nonetheless, if he's doing it to obtain credit earlier or to build up a credit score for his child earlier than they might normally have it, you know, that might be a good intent. It might not be for a bad motive, but it's still illegal.
There you go, caller. Or whoever.
Yeah, well, that's a handwritten note. I don't know how we got that one.
I don't know. It came in the mail.
Could be. Well, whoever, if you're listening, that would be the answer to that question.
There you go. Don't get a credit card in your kid's name unless you expect to not to beat the credit card company, because they could put you in jail, right?
They might. They might.
And some people do get credit cards for their kids with an honest intention of paying it off. They want the kid to have a credit card, feel big and everything, so they're only 17 and a half or something. They might get one for them.
Yeah. Now, there's probably listeners out there, or viewers out there, that know that the credit card companies, where it used to be they were fairly loose when good economic times, if there were a debt, they might look the other way. They'd threaten you a few times and then forget about it. Because of the tough economic times, the credit card companies are more and more, in fact, are pretty much vicious in their efforts to collect. They're not illegal, but they certainly are strong-arming, and they're not going to put up with any type of fraud, even for small amounts. So if that question was submitted with that in mind, think twice.
Well, the all the economic forecasters are telling us the next shoe to drop is the credit card crunch.
It's going to.
Many people are living on their credit cards now. Not many, but millions of people, and they cannot pay that money back. They're just going up to the max, and then they forget about it, and the banks are stuck holding the bag. Well, this is going to be a crash.
Yeah, and what's happening is, and if you should start be getting a rash. I have been anyway. And credit card companies saying that we've changed the terms. Well, that seems like it's almost a daily event now, but we've changed the terms. There's been some new legislation which has outlawed or diminished some of the fees and penalties they used to charge. But what they've done now, if you'll look, is they have significantly raised interest rates that you're charged on your credit card. Now, of course, if you charge $100 and you pay $100, it doesn't matter if the interest rate is 1% or 100%. You're not going to be charged the interest, because they all allow you to pay off the credit card in the first month in which it is incurred. However, what you're going to notice is if you can't pay it off, instead of $100, you have a $1,000 debt, and you can only pay $100 a month. Instead of paying 13.5%, you might be paying 23.5%. That's a big difference in money.
And with that in mind, we're out of here.
Wow, that went quick today.
Yeah, well, okay. Give it 30 seconds to clean up.
Well, as always, Reed, I want to thank you for the opportunity to appear here. I always look forward to being on the show. The listeners' questions have always been top rate, well thought, intelligent, and on the topic. It's one of those things, again, there's a lot of legal issues out there. There are people that can help you with them, but one of the things you always need to do is be careful. Everything that you do needs to be done with care. Okay, Jim practices in Fredonia, and we want to give them your number if they want to follow up on any of these questions. Yeah, that's fine. 672-2800. 672-2800. Thank you very much. Always Jim Subjack. I appreciate it. You come back soon, will you? Anytime you want. Okay, great, because we didn't even get... We never get started, really. We bogged down on the first question. You need to hit the train button to stop me sometimes. I almost jumped out of my chair when I heard that earlier. The train's leaving the station. I want to thank some really special people. Chuck Kelsey. Let me squint it out here. Devin Taylor, Chris Burt, Chris Ramaker, Mort Flexer, Randy Burt, Karen Harvey, Roy Harvey, Don Zins, Jeff Zuck, and John, all the other people out there who called in. And sorry, the last caller, we couldn't get you. No problem, we'll get you next month. Have a great day. Get out there and dance in the sun. Have a beautiful, beautiful time. May all that is proud and true and noble abide with you. I'm Reed Powers.